Welcome to video number 8 as part of the professional development videos that focus on online teaching and learning. This video looks at the first principle to guide student-to-student engagement. Principle 1, sustained communication. Now remember, we have the core model sits in the middle and we have the 4 principles underneath. Today we're focusing in this video on sustained communication. We've said that it means maintaining discourse across the depth and breadth of the learning sequence for development of digital literacy competencies in students. Now let's have a think about what that actually looks like. So here are some, first ideas. There's a close link between student to student and student to teacher engagement. More than one study highlighted that in order to develop student to student interaction, there needs to be student to teacher interactions to help facilitate this, especially in the beginning of a section or unit of work that's associated to online. So, student to teacher reactions mediate student to student interactions. So the idea here is that to get student to student engagement, we first have to have teacher to student and student to teacher interactions, which therefore spill over to student interactions. Encouragement and prompting is often an essential feature of students to teacher online relationships in order to generate discussion between students that then spill over, as we said, into this online interaction in communication forums. The presence of the teacher is critical online for building interactions and connectedness between teacher and student. An important point is made that emphasises teachers taking part as a learner in forums, maintaining frequent and sustained interaction across the life of the online work. So consistent communication by the teacher matters. This relates to Fisher and Frey's notion of gradual release of responsibility. Teachers are more explicit at the beginning and leading an asynchronous discussion, and they might move across the life of that online coursework or unit or what you would like to call it, to being a co-learner, an active co-contributor, and a co-responder. So not just a facilitator, as we call it, but a co-participant. This aligns with that community of inquiry model introduced in video 5. The importance here is teaching presence. Everyone teaches. So shifting roles from instructor is really important. Consistent instructor presence was considered the most valued engagement strategy. It has been found in research that frequency of interaction has a relationship to student success, but it's not simply the total amount of interaction in an online course, while more important is the interaction that is consistent across the life of the course. So sustaining the quality of interaction, therefore, is paramount. When students see their instructor taking an active role in fostering online discussion on relevant issues, they have reported higher cognitive presence. Establishing social presence in online courses is dependent on instructor-student and student-student interactions. More specifically, research suggests that social presence is dependent on the frequency, type, and quality of interactions between instructor and students in online courses, and meaningful interactions and consistent ways of doing that online. It's important not to forget that providing non-task contexts that allow that social, off-task communication, that casual communication is very important. So some practical tips for sustaining communication. For the teacher, more in the beginning, but maintaining over the length of that learning period, using prompts, making contributions, so being a participant, also contributing to the content and the problem, whatever it is, not just answering questions, being part of that community of learners. And again, showing your misunderstanding, showing your mistakes, having students work with you as a co-constructor. It's that more to more. Everyone is a learner in this space, supporting each other for collective knowledge gains. Social and emotional responses. The friendly teacher is important. Using emojis, having that not wholly formal communication in a forum, for example, or online. Using questions designed to open up conversations, and we'll talk about questioning sequences in another one of the principles in more depth. So lastly, but importantly for blended approaches, there needs to be a feedback cycle. What I mean by this is using class time to look at and analyse the posts or conversations, identifying what's a good post and why. So building a bank of questionings, question sentences with students so they build capability to use the posts, to use the discussion forum effectively for their education, for their cognitive development. So feedback, anything that happens in the online space must be relevant and used in the classroom space. So the two spaces become what we're calling the blend. It's not this space you do this and this space you do that. It's the actual blending of the two environments that matters. And you can do that through sustained communication by having these feedback cycles. Oh, that was a good post. Why was that a good post? And deconstructing your actual conversations that you're having in the online space, in the classroom. So remember, we support students on how to engage with each other, the content, and within that interface. Thank you.